Hello and welcome to another episode of Anecdotes, and today's topic is health and player lifestyle. And I shouldn't have put it there. I think that we can start off by saying that with more money coming into the scene, more millions coming at TI, we have seen players be a lot more focused on being healthy and putting effort into maintaining a healthy lifestyle to make sure that they perform better.
Yeah. It's also, I think, just a way to add a rhythm to your life. Dota players, it really is kind of an unhealthy existence.
Yes.
Way too much time gaming.
Sitting in the same chair, same position for hours at end.
I think unhealthy mentally almost more than physically. Like you sacrifice relationships with friends, with family. You move around the world constantly. Like it's a very, and not just that, but a lot of the top players, like money isn't an issue anymore. Win or no win.
Yeah.
You're placing high enough in tournaments that you're getting far beyond the average living wage for someone in the West. And what do you need? You know, a lot of these guys, like, we love video games, right? And now we're in a position where, okay, play some video games. You're going to do it all day, every day. Like, what else? What do you do with your life once you've established that it's what you want? And going to the gym is like a really great way to regularly see improvements. And most importantly, and why a lot of people, I think, don't realize they like it, but why they like the gym, is you can't fake it. You cannot buy being in shape. And to be in good shape demonstrates that you were willing to work for it. That's a minimum of 3 to 6 months of eating right, getting fit. You earned it.
I would say, though, it's not just the getting fit part, because I think it's more just I think it's more a mental thing, being healthy and just being in the right headspace to process stuff. A lot of people process stuff best and work through stuff best when they're running, for example, because it's just a way for the brain to be active and to focus on some things internally. Well, without just when you're playing a game, you're only doing that, and there's nothing else that your brain is busy with other than focusing on a game and winning the game and thinking about ways to win the game. When you're talking with people about Dota 2, you're still talking about Dota. I think exercising or focusing on healthy food gives the mind a lot of space to process all the things that you did throughout the day. Like if you're talking specifically about gym, for example, all the things you did throughout the day will be way easier, way better processed if you go to the gym at the end. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree. It's like it's alone time. It's
Yeah.
part of why, like, you know, I think most talent and players would agree that while it's fun to travel with people, a lot of us enjoy traveling alone because it's purely your time to unwind. I love to read, but I feel like there's always so much to do I don't end up reading. And if I get this nice like 30-hour flight to Asia, I'm going to read 2 or 3 books.
30 hours.
Yeah, but I will not use, like, I've seen the movies on most of the planes, so I'm just going to read, and I'll hammer out some like hardcore novels. I got halfway through the Brothers Karamazov a couple weeks ago, then lost the book, and I can't finish it, which drives me nuts. But I'm never going to read a like massive classical literature tome unless I have that safety. In the same way, you might not explore new playlists as a player because you've got to be focused on Dota, which, to your point about it being an all-encompassing game, most games aren't like that. And it's something that every player has had to explain to a girlfriend is like, I can't talk to you and play Dota.
Yeah.
You can't, like, I don't have a minute or two to discuss something real quick before you walk out, because this game has no downtime, ever. And you could pause theoretically, but like the other team's just gonna unpause.
Then there's 9 people
breaks,
waiting for you to finish that conversation.
Yeah, and it also breaks the flow of the game.
Yes.
It's why we hate casting or watching Dota games that get paused.
Yeah.
There's a flow to it. There's a feel, more so than in many other sports. Counter-Strike in the same way, I think, has it. And part of what I think one of the biggest gripes Dota players have for us as like talents is that we are unable to grasp and properly explain and understand and reason the feel. Why did a player make this decision? Why does this make sense? what is this guy trying to accomplish? And it's why you can't take breaks from Dota, because there's going to be a little subtle patch. And you don't know that Pugna is going to do 13, 20 damage or whatever on a Decrep Blast Dagon. You just know what it might feel, what it should be in the ballpark. Can you kill this guy or can't you? No one's doing math. It's just decision.
Yeah, some people do the math. Surely. I've heard Owen shout multiple times, he did the math.
But that's no one actually does the math. It's like when the teacher, you ever have unchecked homework in school? Like, raise your hand if you did the homework. I'm not going to check. Everyone did the homework. Because, I mean, I don't know. You have a discussion now about, like, lying, right? Like, is not telling the whole truth. Like, you read Wheel of Time. Like, the way Aes Sedai would lie. You know, you just don't tell everything. So it's like, oh, where are we going? Well, we're going to the store, your mom would tell you. But on the way to the store, you're going to go here, here, and here, and here. But you're going to the store.
Sure. You twist words. Yes. But that had nothing to do with health and player lifestyle. This had to do with math homework. Which apparently Kyle didn't make multiple times.
It is.
I was a good kid. I always made my homework.
Yeah.
Because so I didn't have to lie.
You want to know a crazy story about a math class? I was in 8th grade, first year in school. I don't think I've ever told this story to anyone.
Oh,
but
prime.
Could have been incredibly embarrassing. But it's 8th grade. And I'm in math class, and I was a super awkward, nerdy kid.
8th grade, what's your age?
13.
I thought you were homeschooled.
I was until 8th grade. I was homeschooled from kindergarten. So I did kindergarten, homeschool, 8th grade through high school.
Okay, so this was your first time at school.
Yes, since a little being a wee little lad.
All right.
And I'm sitting there in my chat, and I had let out a fart, right? And I thought it was Tiny and Silent One, but it wasn't. It made a sound like an air horn because of the angle, I would assume. I was on one of those metal chairs or whatever. Yeah. And I was like mortified immediately because it was like a trumpet sounded. Literally, what? And everyone laughs, and I'm like, what's so funny? So I was like, the sound your desk made. And I was like, oh, yeah. Wow, that was weird. And that was it. That's the end of the story, guys. But oh my God, it was this, that class, I was literally surrounded by like girls, like literally everywhere, okay? A lot of them were really cute, okay? I was in that was my coolest class. And I totally did that. But I got away with it. It didn't really help. I was still a dork, and I really didn't enjoy my scholastic experience. But that was the time I got away with it.
All right. Back to health and player lifestyle. Thanks for that, though. We got some more insight and some more tactics just in case I ever need it.
If I had eaten my vegetables, I bet you I wouldn't have needed.
Yes. Class. It's all about healthy eating healthy eating. Yeah. As a talent, you know how you go to events a lot, and then you come to an event and it's like, here, have some McDonald's every day.
Yeah. To be fair, that's shifted a bit.
It has.
Thank goodness.
But for a while, it was like you went from event to event, and every event, or a lot of the events were like, well, we'll just get something quick to eat. Either it'd be pizza, or it'd be McDonald's, or any other fast food chain. And it will be like unhealthy, deep fried stuff.
It's cool for maybe a meal.
With snacks, only chocolate bars and soda pops or anything, drinks. Yeah,
which is why I get somewhat, like, there's people who say at times if, like, you know, we're tired at the end of a broadcast that's going on for a while, like, oh, well, don't you get paid to do this? Yeah, like, look, we all try to do our best job. But when you travel, you have one day to adjust to this sleep schedule. A lot of time you come in with sleep debt, which is another thing players have to deal with. I even just saw a tweet, I think, from Tomato, literally just now, about how, once again, before a big qualifier, he can't sleep. And it's very common, especially when you travel, right?
Adrenaline makes that.
Yeah, so you have a match at 2, right? Oh, it's plenty of time. But if you can't sleep until 5 and then you want to wake up at 9, you haven't slept enough, you didn't sleep enough on the plane, maybe you didn't eat healthy the night before. There was a whole 4-day period where I ate for my, like, 10-hour shift. There was Oreos, Snickers bites, McDonald's, and Red Bull. And let me tell you, a day or 2 of that, you'll survive. By day 3 or 4, like, your body needs real fuel. You can't just pour some like nitroglycerin. I don't know where I'm going with this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying.
It adds up. Be healthy.
Be healthy. It adds up. You know how, for example, there's an example that is measurable in a day. When you have either like an energy drink or candy bar or anything, you'll have energy for the next 2-3 hours. You'll be fine. And then you get the drop. Now that works in long term as well, because if you are not having the sodas and the candy and the energy drinks, you can probably maintain more even energy levels throughout the day. And you'll be able to give a more stable performance. As it is a job for us anyway, it's performing for players, same thing as performing. And it's great for those couple of hours of energy to maybe perform a little bit better, but the drop afterwards is not worth it.
It's just so hard. I swear, sometimes I get so tired. I think it's because of the lights.
The lights are
You'll
massive
be working
factor.
out of like an underground stadium, right? So let's say our call time's 9. I'm up at like 7:38.
Yeah.
Try and get breakfast. Usually I don't because I'm late. And you go in, and you're not leaving till it's dark outside. But until then, you're literally in a basement. There's no natural light. And I've started taking vitamin D, which has actually helped me sleep better as well.
Good.
But yeah, it's like, it's difficult. And especially if you don't take care of yourself, you will notice the effects. I think the most important thing when it comes to staying healthy is like taking the easy road. You don't need to go to the gym for an hour or two a day, but you should absolutely cut soda out of your diet.
Yes.
You should cut soda. If you can, cut drinking beer. Beer is not as bad for you as soda. That's the thing. If you're going to drink something, drink beer instead of soda. No jokes.
If you skip out soda and you don't do anything else, that's already super big help to becoming more healthy. And it's actually pretty crazy how big of a difference that can make, just in overall energy levels a day. The same thing goes if you drink 5 cups of coffee in the morning. That's probably not good either, but it's still better than drinking 2 cups of soda, 2 glasses of soda, maybe 1 glass of soda. What's 5
cups of coffee is a lot. I don't know if we can advocate for that.
Don't drink in excess.
Yeah, moderate everything.
And try to not drink any soda. And
that's
that's easy to skip too, because you can just drink water.
And the other thing I would say is make sure you don't replace meals with snacks. That is such... You all of a sudden, instead of eating a real dinner, you have like pizza,
candy
and
bar
a bag
here,
of chips. Like that will just make you feel bad. Like you don't need... People, to get healthy, you don't need to go, and this is the thing to players too, is that a lot of them are like all in one direction or the other. But it's really just make sure you stretch. You don't need to be going to the gym for hours on end every day. Yeah, just stretch. Do a 5-minute stretch. Do push-ups. You don't have to do push-ups. No, yeah, actually, you're right. Easy mode. Stretch a bit. Walk around. Walk around the room is already enough for many people. Don't drink soda, and don't have your entire diet subsist on junk food. Like, literally just have a meal. There are easy options. Like, one of my favorite things, I'm not even sure if it's healthy, it's like a poke bowl, which is just like it's one of the healthier things, yes. Yeah. Veggies, rice, no big deal. I would highly recommend you get a rice cooker. You don't have to get a rice cooker. You can just not eat rice. Rice isn't technically healthy anyway, but it's better than like... I mean, I guess it is. It's better to have... It comes back to better to have meals rather than just a continuation of snacks. Which, by the way, one of the first things... When I started commentating, Purge was already commentating, and I was hired by Gods, who was the Ghost Gamer director person for broadcasting at that point. I was hired by Gods to be a commentator as well, and Purge was already a commentator there. And at some point, I asked Purge for advice because, you know, I'm a noob, I want to learn. And one of the first things he said, which had nothing to do with my actual commentating, was just make sure that when you're commentating, because at those points, we were there for like multiple series on end, it was just long days. Make sure to have healthy snacks and don't forget to eat, as in like have a handful of nuts, for example, and to make sure that you always eat something, but not too much. Just make sure that those snacks that you eat are healthy, like nuts, like bananas and all that, and don't skip meals. Like, okay, that suggestion, that tip has helped me tons.
So that is
Thanks,
still
Purge.
Thanks, Purge. That is still a tip that works real well. Which, by the way, brings us a little bit to the end to health and player lifestyle. I guess. I mean, there's so much to talk about that we were talking a little like generic, I guess, in a way. But that's how it starts. That's the first step, right? You start small. For example, cutting sodas out of your life. If that's all you do to be healthy for the next coming months, you're going to be in a good place. I mean, that's already more than you did before. So go do that, guys.
Don't compare yourself to people who make their living from being in shape.
Yes.
Because that is, you can't look that way. And there's people, I think Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And I think he gave a great interview. He's one of my favorite celebrities. It was like, oh, so how'd you get in such great shape? Because he played a big guy on Parks and Rec. He's like, oh, well, I mean, it was easy. You just got to get a personal trainer, work out for 2 to 3 hours a day, eat 5 meals a day given to you by your dietitian. So yeah, pretty much just book a Marvel movie and you're good to go. And that's not real.
Yeah.
So when you look at players even, if I were to go back to playing for whatever reason, there's a certain lifestyle I think players should be undertaking. You need to take care of your body, which is another major point why I think these guys are going to the gym and training, actually training versus oh, I'm going to do some push-ups, because that's your job. Your job is to be the best athlete you can be. And I would argue, as a Dota player, you should make strides to put your body in great shape to ensure that your mind is functioning as well as it possibly can. Yeah. You sleep better when you're active. You digest food better. Your brain functions better. It's
For sure.
Facts.
It is hard facts.
I think that as this increases in scope and more people care about esports, there's going to be more and more emphasis on making sure that the players are taking care of themselves in all departments.
No2 actually once gave me a suggestion, just to end it with a book suggestion. And it was The Ripple Effect. There's a couple out there, but this one specifically was how it was about eat, sleep...
Rave, repeat.
No. There was no raving in there. But it was about... there were 3 things, and one of them was eating, and one of them was sleeping, and the other one...
4 things.
The other one was... there was not a repeat word in there. But basically, having a healthy diet, make sure that you're sleeping better. Make sure that you can move better and you can perform better, and basically make sure that you eat better again. And it continues going. You know, once you fix one thing, for example, if you cut out sodas, to come back to that, it will give a ripple effect that you'll probably be sleeping a little bit easier, etc. Go for it. Last point.
My last point has been my Twitter _ and my main word of advice for anyone that asks me. You don't need to do something with your life. Just do something with your day.
Simple.
That's it. Just do. There's another concept, which is the idea of a non-zero day. All life, just make sure you never zero out on a day. Always drink water instead of soda. You made today better.
Done.
Do a push-up. Call a friend. Do anything that is not easy to make your day productive in some way, because all a life is a collection of all your productive days. You make sure that you take a little stride every day, and before you know it, Sheaves, you'll be walking out the door.
Yay! I'm gonna walk out the door right now, because this was the end of another episode of AnecDotes, and we'll see you back for the next one.